All right, everyone, here we go. It's an all signs reading. Doesn't matter what your sign is, a straight up energy reading. This is Pluto retrograde in Aquarius. And I wanted to pull it a few days before it happened. You know, I want to make sure everybody's clear on this energy. It's kind of a combination of things. It's very introspective, but it's sort of an introspective. It's like a phoenix rising kind of an energy that goes with it. So it's how do I improve myself? There's a whole lot of what was I thinking with this energy. There's a lot of things you're going to take another look at. It's the perfect time for Pluto retrograde in Aquarius. It is an inner thing, but there is a lot of outer action that will happen. I'll make that prediction. Just in the pre-shuffle, just the surface energy, the magician crossed by the devil. Again, it's transformation. It's inconvenient transformation. Can I call it that? I wish I could just title the reading that. Pluto retrograde in Aquarius, inconvenient transformation. You've heard of inconvenient truths? Well, this is inconvenient transformation based on inconvenient truths. Now that applies to you. It's very personal. Whatever it is you need to look at. Why am I still here? Why am I stuck? There's a whole lot of that. There's a whole lot of people afraid to make changes. In fact, it came up in the energy recently where I told you most people are afraid to make changes, not because of a fear of failure, but because of the fear that everything will be, because of the worry that everything else will change or the changes that will go on around it. That's why they stay stuck in the same place for decades, right? There's a lot of looking at that in this energy for you. For somebody attached to you, somebody's taking another look at I'll get all hocus pocusy with it. I'll make the new age people very happy, right? Steve finally took the science out of it. Right, there you go. They're going to be taking a look at the soul contract you signed, or they signed with you. You both signed. Somebody here is looking at it. Somebody's taking a look at it and staring at it like a deer in the headlights. They're being forced. It's like they're tied to a chair and their eyelids are taped open with fucking duct tape. Now, you'll be like that too on a lot of stuff. You might be a little moody. You might be a little grumpy. The Earth's magnetic field is not going to be helping you out, which governs our moods quite a bit. It is not going to be helping you out between now and October. Okay, so let me just warn you there. You might be a little moody. And if you have a lot of, Cancerian energy in which a lot of you do, a lot of people here that are watching are Cancerians and things like that. Cancerians are notoriously moody because they're ruled by the moon, and the moon changes signs every couple of days. It's a fickle energy on the emotion department. You might run a little wild with it. If your person has a lot of Cancer in their chart, that might work to your advantage, but they might be a little erratic. Either way, they're tied to a chair and their eyelids are taped open. At your soul contract, I'm drawn to the karma and the black hole, and it's crossed by a devil. What they were afraid to look at, there's the fear, the Four of Pentacles holding back. You can try not to look all you want, but when you're tied to a chair, metaphorically speaking, and your eyelids are taped open with duct tape, there's nothing much you can do. Changes that are happening within this retrograde, Ace of Pentacles, have been a long time coming. I encourage you to look at the things you've let slide. Okay? And by the time this thing goes direct again, which is like the middle of October, I think it's like October 15th or something like that. By the time Pluto goes direct again, I think the DF side will be more than done with introspection. But you will have had the Phoenix rising if you did it right by then. You don't have to wait for it to go direct. You can have your Phoenix rising moment during the retrograde is a point I'm trying to make. There can be some external actions that are taken once you figure things out. You don't have to wait for all the things to be figured out and then you deal with them as a batch. You could deal with them one at a time as they're figured out. Okay? So keep that in mind. All right. Love geese. Somebody here, what are they doing with all these realizations, these inconvenient realizations that what are they doing? The love geese are in the air. They're coming towards you. Somebody here is being reactivated within a soul connection with you. Okay? I'll take the hocus pocus. I'll put the hocus pocus back in. Somebody's being reactivated. In other words, as they reread the soul contract, metaphorically speaking, it'll be running through their head. They might have some weird dreams, even. I usually get a lead up to things, and I've been having weird dreams lately. I've been having some strange dreams. Last night, I became the leader of India. I was the ruler of all of India, and then they took it away from me because of a conflict of belief. I woke up, and I just got up. I was like, okay, this is too fucked up. I'm not even Indian. You know, so at the end of the day, it should have taken it away from me just for that, you know. But at the end of the day, I mean, just weird shit. And I don't know. Oh, it's just crazy. Anyway, the lovers. Okay, so love geese, they're coming towards you. Very strange. I'm still going to be figuring that one out. And then all morning long, I'm getting ads for travel to India. It's very, very weird shit. I got to be careful. I can manifest shit, right? I'm manifesting this for you right now. I said the love geese are in the air. Here they are. Somebody is coming to talk to you about the revelations they have, the realizations they have, whatever it is. They want to talk to you about the soul contract. They want to talk to you about the connection. They want to talk to you about what happened between you two. And I think it can be very constructive in this energy. Why? Because on your side, you're asking the questions. You're going in and you're going, why have I allowed this to happen? Why have I allowed this person to keep doing this? Why have I allowed myself to keep allowing that person to keep doing it? Go deeper. Go down rabbit holes. So you figure out why you allow somebody to do something to you. Then go deeper. Ask another question. Well, why did I allow myself to allow that person to keep going? All right? Keep going with it. The higher vibration you are, the further down rabbit holes you can go. It's a good litmus test to find out, am I high vibration or low vibration? How deep can you go down rabbit holes, right? How many whys can you ask before you forget the question? It's sort of like that. Somebody reaching out. Okay, I'm going to use the catchphrase that tarot readings all love, reaching out. You put that in the title, it's gold, right? Oh, they're reaching out. Yeah. I mean, it's minor arcana. I can't predict free will. All right. This is a big reading. It's a big deal energy. It is what it is. It's nice. It's time for some introspection. All right. At the end of the day, okay, here we go. These two flew out. These flew out. We're going to pull a pyramid here. All right, we are. Because they're coming to talk. You love geese are in the air. We're pulling a pyramid. Here's your whole thing right here. There it is. That's how they feel about you. I'm not even going to pull them yet. I'm just stopping reading. And here is your, right, I bet these are cards from the pre-shuffle. No, they're not. Let me take a peek. No. Yep, couple cards from the pre-shuffle and one that's not. And the Knight of Pentacles is the deer in the headlights. How someone feels about you. They can't think about anything but talking to you, but coming towards you. They can't think about anything but why they ran. So their introspection, their why, their rabbit hole that they're going down, all right? There it is, right there. These two are red together. They're obsessed with why they ran. Why did I run? Why? I mean, I want to bang Steve's viewers so bad. Why did I run? Why was I afraid? Why did I bang them and then run? Right? It is what it is. Why do I not get along with them if it's a family member? It has something to do with why they ran. Why there's a separation. That's what they're looking at. That's how they feel. They feel they want a do-over. Can I put it that way? All right. This is how they feel about you. This is how they see you. This is what they think about you. The Hermit and the Four of Swords. Again, I had in the pre-shuffle somebody rereading the soul contract. Soul contract basically says you're soulmates. Okay, let's just dumb it down and lighten it up a little bit to its least common denominator. You're soulmates. Somebody knows that. When they look at you, they see a soulmate. And they see someone who they have a connection with that they did nothing about. They also see you, if I'm to flip the energy, healing. This is definitely a healing energy of the Four of Swords. It's a void on their side. I have this great soul connection. I just read about it in this soul contract, and I did nothing. I have done nothing. I ran. Which, again, feedback loops back to their obsession with why they ran. Why is there a separation? Why are we not speaking? Why are we not banging? Right? Right here. So that's their side. It's a void on their side. On your side, it's healing. They see you healing. They see you growing your vibration, getting stronger, probably figuring you're going down some rabbit holes too. And they also think that you don't think about them anymore. For some of you, that's what's there. Again, because they feel a void on their side, it does stretch over here. Why did I run? Why did I whatever? But they can't really pick up anything that you're thinking or feeling. Okay, that's fine. It's no big deal. And right here's the potential final outcome for you. I say potential because I cannot predict free will. Nobody can. I'll clarify what I think needs clarifying in a minute. And you bet your ass, your sweet ass, is we're going to extend this one. We'll clarify with that. See, even the order on this is fucked up, right? I just went with it. These flew out. I went with it. This is a very important energy here. There's something going on with these two coming back because I don't have anything else from the pre-shuffle. That's not. It's just those two. And this isn't from the pre-shuffle either. All somebody can think about is they want a do-over. Right? This card is red with your final outcome. Your final outcome is a Fool. You get a do-over with this person. The love geese are in the air. I believe they reach out. During the retrograde. I can't say when, and I can't predict free will. If you have a super fuckwit, forget it. Why? Because a super fuckwit on the DM side can realize that what they're doing is wrong, that why they ran is wrong, and they don't want to run anymore, but they still got to have the balls to put down their ego and come in and eat some crow. And a lot of people won't do that, right? Out in the world, that's why a lot of things are let to continue. There's a lot of people writing into me going, why is this being allowed to continue? Why? Because people know it's wrong. The people that support it know it's wrong, but they don't want to change their mind. They don't want to look weak. It looks weak to change your mind. If you're a low vibrational person, changing your mind or your point of view or your whatever view, it looks weak. Same thing here in the soulmate cycle. It's sociopathic behavior, I often call it. Sociopaths know they're lying, but they do it anyway, right? This person will figure out during Pluto retrograde that it was very wrong for them to run. It was stupid and it was foolish. The ones that have the stones to put down their ego a little bit, turn down the Burger King energy, will show up. All right? Some of them won't. Some of them will chicken out. I will tell you that right now. But whatever this is, these three coming back here, this is the overall energy. They're being, again, tied to a chair with their eyelids taped open. There's no doubt about that. There's no doubt about that. All right, let's clarify. Let's see where we go. Wow. Yeah, they'd love to not be looking at it. I believe it because I believe fear is underneath that. Yeah, fear is underneath that. That's why it started to spin that and I hit it. But, there's always a reason for it. It's like, no, Steve, it started to spin because you hit it. Yeah, but why did I hit it? Why am I noticing that it's spinning? You take a look around, you find out. That's how the universe talks to you. That's how the energy around you talks to you. You see it play out right here. I tell people all the time. It's always talking to you. Just most people don't dig for it. They write it off as nonsense. Right off the top. Oh, well, I hit it with my hand. Yeah, but there's more going on than that. How many rabbit holes can you go down, right? You don't have to go crazy with it. But ask, well, why did I hit it? I don't always hit it. It doesn't always spin. It is what it is. It tied to what I was saying. I was saying they're tied to a chair and they don't want to look at it and then went ahead and spun. Then I remembered there's fear at the bottom. Yeah, they'd rather not be looking at these feelings. They'd rather not be doing this. I'm sure most people will. I'm sure the DFs, even on the DF side, you would rather not be feeling some things you're feeling. Relationships are going to end. People are going to move. Jobs are going to get quit. Political sides are going to change. There's all kinds of things that'll happen. May or may not. It's up to you. It's very individual what goes on. It is what it is. It all boils down to how many rabbit holes you can go down. The more whys you can ask without forgetting the original question, the higher your vibration. You should be able to do at least 5 or 6 or more if you're high vibration. 5 or 6 whys off of one question. If you can do that, you're at least mid-range. You're not a Tibetan monk, but you're doing all right. The average Joe can't go more than 1. So at least beat that before they forget the question. What's going on with the magician? Let's talk about it. Let's talk, because I'm drawn to the black hole still. They're feeling it. And that black hole, when we peek in it, we see this, right? You see the black? See it? When we peek in that little hole, this is what we see. That's why sometimes this is karma for me. It's a big deal. It's a big deal. It's crossed by the 3 of Wands. This person's burning question is, why did I run? It really is. Why did I run? Why? I mean, this guy right here is crying on the shore because he should be on that boat with you. You're on that boat. Their burning question is why. The answer lives here. The answer isn't something they want to admit or realize, okay? Which could be as simple as they were wrong. Well, again, most people don't admit they were wrong. which is, again, another reason not to be like most people. Most people will drive the bus right over the cliff, even though they know the brakes work. They just refuse to believe you because they said originally that they didn't work, so they're going to stick with that. They don't want to admit they were wrong, and they will literally fly off the cliff with the bus rather than admit they work and hit the brake. You know, it's just what's going on. It's what's going on out in the world right now. The bus is heading right for the fucking cliff, and nobody hitting the brake. The brakes are fine. Just fucking hit the brake, motherfucker. Right? It's what's going on here as well with this person. What they don't want to look at. It could be as simple as, it could be as simple as why they ran. That answer. What's on top? The Seven of Swords. Somebody be enforced why they ran. This is my sneaky deaky away card, right? Someone sneaking away in the night. There it is. It's right there. That's the burning question here. It's what a lot of people are going to be looking at. Why did I let the bus go over the cliff? Why did I run from Steve's viewer? Why? As you're laying there at the bottom of the cliff with bus debris all around you, you might get to, and your leg cooked backwards and whatever. You might start to think, yeah, maybe I should have just hit that brake, right? Maybe I should have just stayed with Steve Viewer, right? They might start to think that they shouldn't have ran. And that in turn is what might bite you in the ass. Because if they start thinking they shouldn't have ran, that means, again, do you have a super fuckwit or a regular one? A super fuckwit won't admit they were wrong. It all boils back to somebody has to admit they made the wrong choice, went the wrong way. We're counting on the DM side admitting that they went the wrong way. All right? It has a snowball's chance. I'll tell you about my offline readings. It has a snowball's chance in hell of happening in the soulmate cycle. It does for a lot of you. This person reaches out. Out in the world, it doesn't happen. That's not how it plays out. So just heads up. Right here, Seven Swords, and at least on the current timeline. Timelines can change with free will decisions. Maybe Pluto retrograde will help things out. I don't know. Page of Swords. Yeah, somebody's very disappointed. Very disappointed. Feels very stupid for running away. But again, what did I say? Rewind. They have to put down their ego and admit that they were wrong. This is what it's all about with them. These are their feelings for you. You're haunting this person. We're going to pull on the devil right now. You're haunting this person. It is what it is. This is definitely an energy, Pluto retrograde, this phase, this 5 months phase, where I would say take care of your side of the fence. Take care of you. All right, ask the questions why, figure out what. If we can all do that on an individual basis, then collective change can happen within the energy of the soulmate cycle. It's just there's a lot of people that aren't going to do that. And a chain is only as strong as its weakest link. You could have a chain that's rated to pull 10,000 pounds. But if you got one link in the middle that breaks at 300 pounds, that 10,000 pound rated chain will only pull 300 pounds before it breaks. So, again, that's the answer to why there can never be world peace as well. I mean, I'm sorry, John Lennon wanted us to give peace a chance, but it'll never happen because of what I just described about a chain, So it is what it is. But use this energy to take care of you. Shore up your little world, okay? Worry about your little world. Find yourself your own little... what did I call it in one of my write-ups? Some sort of, bubble bunker. Bunker bubble, I think I called it. Find yourself one of those. All right? They're going to be doing it too, but man, they are so ashamed of themselves at what they find out. It depends on their ego. It really does. And I'm sorry to say that. I said they're obsessed with you, right? I said all they can think about is why they ran. Yeah. The environmental energy is the Empress. It is you, and it is very attractive, sure. But I'm going to go a couple of layers deeper and say that their feminine energy is kicking up. Their emotions are up. I would dare to say, some of you, this person might break down in tears. We talked about it in the weekly reading. We talked about an emotional breakdown. I think I called it of magnitude 10 in the title for the weekly reading. That might cause that. It might. What's on top? The Nine of Cups. Why is that here? The Ace of Swords. Somebody's having an epiphany about, I just wanted to see if I was right. I should have said something. But I would have looked so cool. But yeah, there's the epiphany. That's why it's here. They have an epiphany that you're what they want. Then that leads to the philosophical question of, well, why the fuck did I run? Why did I sneaky deaky away? Then they get that answer, whatever it is, probably because you're too much, taking it back to your level, to you being the empress. You don't want to fuck things up with this. There are certain people, and it's a shame to say this, but it's true. Back in my dating days, I will tell you, I'll be honest. I'm not going to sit up here and bullshit that I'm some Tibetan monk, right? When I was in my 20s, there were early 20s in particular, there were girls I would go out with that I didn't, whatever. I'm just going to bang her, right? That's all she was. It was never going to be the wife, was never going to be anything. It wasn't that big a deal. There were other girls that I avoided, that I did not go out with. I never went anywhere near, tried to keep them as friends as much as possible because they were of this quality, right? You are of this quality. And that's something they have to figure out. That's why they're disappointed as well for running from you. That's probably one of the main answers as to why they ran from you. Because you're one of those girls I just described. Male or female. It was a girl for me. It could be a guy for you. It doesn't matter. All right. The Hermit. Let's go. Let's pull on your soul connection right now. Look at that. Somebody who was disappointed that I did a pyramid because they like to look at the soul connection. This is the card that would have shown up in your soul connection. All right? You got a Hermit. This is a powerful connection, whoever this is. Doesn't mean it can't be a parent that's coming in here, or you'd have to be estranged from the person. They would have had to have run, But it does feel, with the love geese and the Eight of Wands, it feels very passionate and lovey-dovey. Okay? Those two geese on that card really like each other. I won't lie to you. All right. Where do we go here? Let's see where we're at. The Hermit. Tell me about this connection. All right. Here we go. Eight of Cups. How many more times? That was the beat. The little 12/8 time drum beat from Led Zeppelin's How Many More Times. Just the title alone speaks volumes. How many more times? This is come around. This happens. You guys have never fucking, in any fucking lifetime. I'm going to put the hocus pocus on it because in any fucking lifetime you have never. And again, there's always some sort of walk away. Somebody walks away. This person here is trying to blame shift on you that you're the one who walked away. That's how they make themselves feel better. And that's, you see what happened? I hit the card. And you see that the Fool almost went reversed? Right? That kind of shit in this energy is going to make the DF tell this person, even if they show up, to go fuck themselves. All right? There won't be a new beginning if they try that shit. Right? That's enough with blame shifting. There's been a lot of it in the energy. That is one thing that Aquarius, Pluto retrograde is going to put an end to, or put the kibosh on, at least on some level, is the blame shifting within the soul, with the DMs, with their blame shifting and this and that. It comes to a point, it's like, at some point, every con falls apart. It's a famous quote from a very famous con man, okay? I forget which specific one. But at every point in time, every con falls apart. It's sort of like at every point in time, it ties to the same energy. It goes a layer deeper. It says, at some point, there's nobody to blame but yourself. You can blame shift for a little while, but after a while, no, it's just you, and that's where we're at. That's what Pluto retrograde in Aquarius is going to sort of bring to the surface. A lot of people are going to realize that about themselves and about people out in the world, but about themselves for sure. This person's realizing, Mr. or Mrs. Blame Shifter here, which I feel very strongly they're going to try and do, and I tell you what, you're going to tell them to go fuck themselves. It's going to try to, again, they're trying to sneaky dicky away again. They need to be able to be high enough vibration to go one more layer and ask, well, why am I trying to sneaky dicky away again? Right? I'm disappointed about the first time. Why am I doing it again? People do that all the time, Someone disappoints you. Think about relationships. Someone does a really bad job the first time you were with them. It was a very, very bad relationship. What do? You get back together with them. You go out with another person for a little while, and you get back together with them. And you expect them what? To do a good job the second time? You know, or to be a great boyfriend or girlfriend the second time? That's never the case. Never. In fact, it's usually worse. Unless they went on a spiritual journey. You know, this person here, same kind of thing. This person here just, you know, they might tell you they've changed. They might this and that. People repeat mistakes all the time. They're prone to putting their hand in the meat grinder. I don't think you are, is my point. I don't think you're going to put your hand in the meat grinder. I think if this person tries to blame shift you, you're going to be like, oh, fucking hell no. Empress on top of this. And why is that here? The Magician. Look at that. The Magician and the Empress. The Empress was crossing over here. The obsession around, again, this having to look at stuff they don't want to look at, why they snuck away. It all boils back to blame shifting. You know, and again, that blame shifting then falls on their head. Unreal. This person sees you as healing. I want to see specifically how or why. I think they're jealous of that a little bit. I pick up on some of that. All right? It is what it is. It's a pretty cut and dry energy. You go inside, you find out why. Why have I allowed this shit to happen? And you go deeper. Then you go deeper, 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 as deep as you can go. And Pluto's energy will help you find the answers. It'll help you be okay with the answers, provided you don't put too much ego on it. Most of these things that you'll figure out, I'm just talking to you now. This person's not here. I've said enough. Right? We're going to talk about your healing right here, and this is your final outcome. So we on to you. All right? Most of the things you'll figure out within this, you might not want to hear. You can't put ego on them. You don't want any ego. You keep reflecting in this reading as the Empress. I suggest you reflect that way actually in your life. There's not a lot of ego on this energy. It's in balance. It's kept in check. Okay? Keep your ego in check. Now, you'll have massive transformation. They can already see that happening, which is why they want to blame shift it back on you. That you're the one who ran, right? Because it might lower your vibration down to something they can handle. It is what it is. But yeah, this energy is the Pluto retrograde is the blame shift killer. At some point, it falls apart. And you realize there's nobody to blame but you, but yourself. You're the one. And that's what we get here. Yeah. Tell me about the Four of Swords. Tell me about the Four of Swords. Knight of Cups. Yeah. They see you healing, and they feel like you're the Empress, right? I'll keep it simple. They see you healing. They feel like you're the Empress. And, of course, other people are going to ask you out. Other people are going to approach. And here's this pussy wondering why they ran and disappointed in themselves and tried to figure out a way they could run again. Oh, but I can't. Oh, my God, I'm having the epiphany that Steve's viewer is the one that I want, so I'm going to go in. But it was their fault that I ran. Oh, really? Or they may even shift it completely and say, you're the one who ran. I didn't ran. I was just standing there. Really? Okay. All because, again, they're getting a little frantic. You got a lot of time to think with Pluto retrograde in Aquarius. You got 5 months to think, to go deep. That's fine if you're a high vibrational DF who's in balance, their ego and their emotions are in check. But if you're an ego-based DM, that too much time to think leads to nothing but fucking paranoia. It invites more goats in and different frequencies of goats. What's on top here? The Five of Pentacles. Why is that here? A period. I'm just going to tell you. Can I tell you? I said this is for you and this is for you. You're showing up here. All right? And you are the Empress. I'm just going to tell you straight up. Yeah, they can see that you're healing and that you might attract other people. A dry spell is ending for you. Your ship's about to come in. And it's represented by a Knight of Cups. All right? Yeah, that's some shit right there. You know what? Not everybody goes to the extended. Not everybody does, and I don't hold my reading hostage. I was going to say we'll cover this Knight of Cups in the extended. I will. But I'll also pull on it here. Just give me a second. Tell me about the Knight of Cups. Tell me about this energy. I like this. This is nice. I like it. Tell me about this Knight of Cups. What do we get? It's crossed by justice. This is good for you. That's happiness. That's balanced energy. That's somebody good. It's got nothing to do with this fucker. It's got nothing to do with this person. This person sees you healing. You are getting more and more attractive because you're healing. Maybe your acne problem cleared up. I don't know. It could be something superficial like that. I have no idea. Or you're wearing better clothes. I don't know. They're probably seeing it more on that superficial level, but I think it's deeper than that. I think emotionally you're healing, and that changes your output energy, which changes what you attract, right? If your output energy is thug, right? I'm a thug, I'm a badass, I'm a gangster. That's your output energy. You're just going to attract trouble. Like energy attracts like energy. The cops are going to pull over, ask you your name. What's your name, son? You know, that kind of a thing. Or you're going to attract people, crimes on the street. You'll happen to walk into a store at a time when a robbery is going on. It'll just happen that way, you know. But your energy is such to attract this. It's the exact opposite of that. Your ship's about to come in. A dry spell's about to end. Justice for you. On top, the star. I'm not going to pull a bad card here. And the devil. Oh, it's nice. And the bridge, the 4 of cups. I think this person appeals to you. Because of where the devil fell, I think this person appeals to your... Oh, what's the word I'm looking for? See, I wouldn't have wanted that. That would have been bad. I was happy to see the star. I thought that might be a tower before it came out. I won't lie to you. This person breaks a dry spell. Let's talk about the 4 of cups again. A definite dry spell for sure. This appeals to your, what's the word I'm looking for? Hedonistic side. This is a man. If you manifested some banging sex and you're about to get it. Okay? Can we just go there? That's basically what this is saying. Okay? This Knight of Cups is hot. This is not your cousin. It's not your friend. This is somebody brought to you by the universe. Have fun, motherfucker. Right? Have fun. Because again, I got a period of dry spell of no fun. Even if you're banging somebody, this person's better than that person. Right? It is what it is. Let's talk about the Fool. I like it. I love it. You manifested this. You got a little horny one night. This is manifesting something for yourself here that's very bad. This is person at diet camp manifesting a box of Twinkies. Can I put it that way? I'll tell you what. That would be me. Right now. All right, here we go. The Fool. I'll be right there with you. All right. Why is the Fool here? I'm such a good manifester. If we were at fat camp together and we were trying to get Twinkies, I would be able to manifest the hostess truck breaking down right in front of the fucking camp. That's the kind of shit that happens to me all the time. Always does. My car broke down once. This is a true story. Years ago, my car broke down once. The starter, I got stuck in a parking lot. And the starter finally went out. I used to have to hit it with a hammer. This was a long time ago. But you can hit it with a hammer for a little while, but eventually that stops working, right? So it's actually the solenoid you hit. But anyway, it wouldn't turn. It wouldn't start. I'm like, shit. It was a GM car, so there's a lot of ready parts available. Anyway, the AC Delco truck pulled into the same fucking parking lot. It was a bank parking lot. The AC Delco truck pulled in, and because the guy driving it had to go to the bank. And I damn near died. I'm like, oh my God. He says, yeah, I probably got an old starter in the back. And he gave me a fucking starter. I gave him $20 for it, for his time. They have a lot of old parts in like milk crates and stuff like that in those trucks, along with the new stuff that they deliver. It's just, that kind of a thing. That's the kind of shit that happens to me. That's the kind of shit that's happening to you here. I don't tell stories that aren't part of the energy. That's what's happening here. This Knight of Cups is exactly the thing you need at the moment you need it. All right? And this fucker can feel that Knight of Cups coming. All right? That's what I'm talking about. The Fool. Final outcome for you. Red with this. Somebody sneaking, disappointed that they snuck away, they show up. I think they do. I think for most of you, you don't have a super fuckwit. But I had to cover the super fuckwit side to be thorough. I don't think you have a super fuckwit. 10 of Pentacles. Well, 10 of Cups too. I mean, this is everything, right? I think they're showing up. I think this person, you get somebody you can add to this picture, maybe. But I do think, because you saw it play out, I flipped that card, right? As soon as I talked about them blame shifting, my hand hit it and it flipped. And we talked earlier about my hand hitting and flipping things, right? So why, again, you're seeing in real time in a reading why things happen. Things happen for a reason. Why would I talk about that? Out of nowhere. Big deal, Steve, because then I don't have to explain it when it happens again. That's why. So if this person tries to blame shift, I don't think they enter your life. I think that flips everything. And you're like, fuck off. But I think for most of you, they show up okay. They show up fine. Definitely worried that somebody else is going to snatch you up. No doubt about that. Definitely disappointed that they sneaky deakied away, that they were an asshole. Definitely aware that you're soulmates. Definitely aware that they want you in their life. And definitely aware that they need, I'm going to say it, that they need you in their life in some capacity. Okay? What's on top? The Eight of Pentacles. Yeah. Yeah, I believe that. I believe that. I'll wait to pull the next one. I will tell you, the Eight of Pentacles is red with the Seven of Swords. The sneaky deaky away. This person's going to try to avoid this topic of why they snuck away, and that they're going to avoid it. They're going to pretend they never ran. Oh, absolutely. People do it all the time. People do it all the time. My wife had an argument with one of her friends at one time. It was terrible. The person was totally in the wrong, right? I remember this. And then like 2 years later, they fucking call up and pretend like nothing ever happened. Hey, you want to go hang out? Right? They think enough time has passed that they can just glaze over the fact that they stabbed you in the fucking heart 2 years prior. It's a bit of that here. Do not allow that to happen unless you want to. If you want to, if you're aware that they snuck away, but you're willing to just sort of, let's not talk about that, it's up to you, okay? I would advise not letting it slide. Maybe initially you could let it slide just for the sake of a happy new beginning, okay? Do what you want to do, but I have seen this play out countless times in life. People think enough time has passed, they just, we're not even going to talk about what happened. Yeah. Whatever happened between you and this person is such a high-level soulmate, you need to talk about it at some point, okay? All right, let's go. That's why it's an Eight of Pentacles here. Why is that? Yeah, the Nine Swords. Again, they're very worried you're going to bring it up. They're very worried. They are. They're very disappointed in themselves, and they're nervous as fuck that you're going to bring it up. And they're going to try and glaze over it. Let it, in lieu of this card coming out, I would say let it happen organically. Okay? That would be my advice. Do what you want to do. All right? All right, here we go. 3 cards from the bottom and a crossing card. Interesting. Also, this Knight of Cups might show up at a time when you're doing something else, when you're busy. Right? You're busy telling people about frogs. They might show up. All right? Be careful about that. All right? So, sometimes, we get what we manifest, but it's not just it's not always the AC Delco truck. You know what I'm saying? Right? Or the hostess truck outside the fat camp. Looky there. He broke down right outside. Maybe some of them cupcakes will help you change the tire. Well, there you go. All right, here we go. Fruit Pie the Magician here. Right, there you go. I remember all the characters they used to have back in the day. Twinkie the Kid, Fruit Pie the Magician, the Cupcake, I forget what that was. I know it talked, but I don't remember anything else from there. I know they didn't do a character off the Ho-Ho. I know they didn't. I would, but I know they didn't. I don't think they did. It was Ho-Ho. What's it? It show up in a hoochie dress, some kind of, I don't know. I don't think they did. Now that's all I can think about. I'm thinking up a marketing character for the Ho-Ho. Oh, man. That is awesome. How much she charged? All right, 6 of Pentacles crossing the 8 Swords. This is 8 Swords red with Justice and Death. These are big fucking cards. This is the base energy, and it's tiny, and it's surrounded by some serious shit. Let's not forget that you had Justice crossing that Knight of Cups. Let's remember that. We want to look, whenever I do these final message to you, we want to look for cards that have been in the reading. Okay? That one definitely was crossing the Knight of Cups. So if I'm to paraphrase here, you're a big deal to this person. They're afraid to give to this. They're all up in their head about it. They're whatever. This is somebody who's going to come across like they have their shit together. I'm not talking about the 9, okay? I'm not. I might be. I mean, I suppose I could be because I mentioned the night around that. Both of them, the person here and the night, you make them nervous for different reasons and on different levels. Let me make that clear, okay? But as far as the reading person goes, you've got somebody coming in who might pretend to have their shit together. The night might too. The night might pretend that they're not nervous, right? We all do that a little bit, right? We all try to be cool. But I think the person here in the reading, I think it'll be very easy to tell that they're quaking in their boots, okay? Very easy to tell for you. That's it. I mean, you got massive transformation coming. Either side, the knight or this person, has the potential to make you very happy. Even if you tell this, even if they're a super fuckwit and you tell them to fuck off because they come in and try to blame shift on you, you can still end this very happy with massive transformation. Either way, it's a win for you. I mean, I've got no indication of any kind of loss for you. I do have somebody here that really needs to face the fact and really needs to go as deep as they can. I don't think they're high enough vibration to go too deep, but they might be able to go at least 3 layers deep as to why the fuck they ran. Why was an offer of friendship or love, a genuine offer of friendship or love, met with someone booking it for the hills? Well, I mean, almost like a cartoon scream, ah, and then run. Kind of a thing. That's the way the energy reads. Doesn't mean it's what they did, but that's basically what they did. All right. If you want the extended, there's a couple of links at the top of the description. I got 2 devils. I got a soulmate that you're manifesting in that's just purely for banging. It's purely for fun. It's like they're some sort of real doll, like a banging doll or something like that. I mean, it's fantastic. I'll pull more on that. And then you've got this one here that you got a soul contract with. Unreal. That is your reading. If you want the extended, there's a couple of links at the top of the description. I hope this reading was helpful. Good luck.